Welcome to the World Football Summit podcast, the show for football industry leaders who want to stay ahead of the game. We bring you the latest insights, trends, and stories from the experts driving innovation and progress in sports business worldwide. Join us as we dive deep into the ideas and initiatives transforming the world of football. From sustainability and innovation to player development, fan engagement, and everything in between. Our goal is to unite the global football industry and drive positive change and progress. Welcome to another episode of the World Football Summit podcast. I'm your host, Jaime, CMO at World Football Summit. I hope you agree that getting a high-quality education is key for any sports business professional. This is why I was so excited to welcome today's two guests to the show. Vicente Valero, Campus Director at the European Sports Business School, and Borja Eroles, Operations Coordinator at Valencia CF. And the reason I was looking forward to this conversation is precisely the combination of having someone from the ESBS academic team and one of their alumni, who is actually developing his career in the football industry. And that's really what the conversation is about. What are the pillars of a good educational program? How is that then applied to the reality of a football club? And we finish off by looking into the future and what skills do the sports industry leaders of tomorrow need to have? And you know who didn't miss this conversation? My cup of Juan Valdez, which is 100% premium Colombian coffee. Now, I've told you before, I am very picky when it comes to coffee. And I must say, Juan Valdez definitely hits the bar. But this cup of coffee is much more than that. It is a premium blend developed by female coffee makers, and Juan Valdez has this program in which they look to empower these women both economically and socially. This resonates very much with a female leadership in football initiative we launched at World Football Summit a few months back. So I'm very excited to partner with them to offer this premium blend to you. You can order it online at es.juanvaldez.com. Again, that's es.juanvaldez.com. And they actually have a special discount for the World Football Summit podcast listeners. All you need to do is enter the code WFS Podcast at checkout. Again, that's WFS, capital letters, podcast at checkout. And they deliver to all markets in Europe. So give it a try and let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the podcast on your platform of choice and share it with your industry colleagues. Remember, you can also subscribe to our newsletter, where every week we send updates, trends, and everything that goes on at our events. And one of those events is World Football Summit Asia, coming up in December 12th and 13th in Jeddah. Join us. Tickets are available on our website. You can find the link in the show notes. Now, enjoy this conversation with Vicente Valero and Borja Eroles. Well, Vicente, Borja, thank you for joining us on the World Football Summit podcast. I'm a big believer in the role of, sports education to have a successful career. So I'm really, really excited to have you both on the show. So welcome.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here with you. It's an honor. So I hope that we can have a good moment all together here in this great interview.
Thank you, Jaime. The same here. It's a pleasure to be here in your podcast. So really willing to be part of this interview.
Yeah, we're going to have fun. But before we go into different topics, I was wondering, let's start with you, Vicente. I was wondering if you can introduce yourself briefly, and help us understand why is it that you do what you do?
Well, currently I'm the campus director of ESBS Valencia. Okay, actually I am working here at the ESBS since 2014. I was a former student of the Masters in International Sports Management that we organize here in the school. And well, my mission, or what I love, is helping people to achieve their dreams at the same time that I am in contact with the sports industry, in the day-to-day. And a few years ago, I was in their spot, so I understand their position, what they expect from the school, what they expect from us. And also at the same time, I'm able to be part of the continuous improvement of the program as well, the school. So that's why I do what I do.
Great. And Borja, what about you?
Well, right now I'm the operations coordinator of the VCF Academy. So I'm working here coordinating some areas that are more operational. So here we have our director, and then we have a couple of branches. From one side is the technical part that is all around the field, more technical, let's see. And then we have the operational part that is more about administration, education department, facilities, contracts, this kind of thing, international programs. But this is gonna be my 8th year in the club. Before I was in the marketing department, managing the international area and also the events area of the club. So it was an honor, especially during the year that we were organizing our century of the club. So it was an honor and a huge responsibility. And as Vicente mentioned, for me, it was the same. In the past, I studied business administration. I love the sports, and then I decided to participate and to register in the Master of the International Sport Development of the club, doing it with ESBS and the foundation. So I studied this. I made an internship in the club, and then some months later, I joined to the club, and from that moment, I'm working here in Valencia Club de Fútbol.
So Vicente, I want to understand from you. I don't know if you can provide an overview of, the European Sports Business School, its mission, what inspired that, being founded back in, I think it was 2009, and how it's evolved. I mean, just kind of just give us a brief overview.
Yeah, of course. So we are a business school, and we are specialized in sports management. That's the only thing we do here in the school. Currently, we have 2 campuses, one in Madrid and one in Valencia, both of them in Spain. And at the same time, we have some international campuses in London, Paris, and Nice, managed by our co-brand Amos. Amos and ESBS, currently we are part of the same educational group. It's called ESBS. Okay. And we share this space together, and we collaborate through our programs with these international campuses as well. So basically, as you said, ESBS as a brand, okay, is born in 2013, okay, but the project, everything started in 2009 because our CEO presented a project to Valencia CF, Valencia CF's foundation, in order to professionalize the sports industry. The industry actually has changed a lot since then. So by that moment, he proposed a project to make an educational program to educate, to train the professionals in the industry. Our first edition of the master's program actually was in 2009. And in this program was focused only, or was done only for employees of Valencia Football Club. So that's something that differentiates us, that we were born within a football club in this case. And since the second edition, the program was open to everyone who was willing to, or who was pursuing their dream to work in the sports industry. But actually, we also manage the Valencia CF Foundation Training Centers brand. Okay, and that's like the project, no? Since 2009, 2013, ESBS is born as a brand, and since then, we are also partnering with other companies of the sports industry, such as Ferrero Tennis Academy or Levante UD, Real Sporting de Gijón, or GSAC, to develop educational programs with them.
Okay, interesting. And I was thinking, because I was looking at your website, and from the conversations we've had, a good education program, which I completely agree with, and it's something that, again, you're reflecting on your website, includes knowledge, experience, and network. So if we consider this framework, what makes ESBS unique? And I don't know if you can give us your opinion from an academic point of view, let's say.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think that the first point is the programs that we have. So, and in this case, we have an European bachelor's, which the student can study 1 year in Spain. Second year can move to our international campuses in Paris or London. Third year can stay abroad, and he can do the internships abroad. So the program stays the same. Only changes the experiences and the professionals. The teachers are all of them professionals in the sports industry. And so I think that's one of the keys of our programs itself. Other thing is the team and the people that works here, because it's amazing and it's always willing to help the students to achieve their dreams. The quality of teachers, of course, all of them are professionals, and also that generates that networking opportunities with the students. Every single class is a new opportunity, and of course, the practical approach. We train our students to be ready for what's next in their future careers.
Okay. And Borja, on your case, since you're an alumni of the school, how would you say that ESBS kind of prepared for your career and the role you're doing now? Let's get the practical point of view here.
Yeah, for me was an incredible experience because at the end, when you register to a master, you never know what you are gonna find inside. No, once you are registered, for me was the most beautiful and the most important part for me was the practical side, the opportunity to know people that were working inside of the industry, people that they have experience, people that they join, not just when you are in a class where we have been in a class for many years and it's all theoretical. Okay, this is a strategy, you can do that, this or did that. No, you go there, you understand why they do some things, why the situation of one club is this one, or a real situation of an ambush marketing strategy or whatever, So for me was incredible, this part. And from that, you get a good basis to understand the industry and move forward. So for me was the key, the opportunity to learn about people that were inside of the industry, not like just tutors or teachers.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, the people that are actually, as they say, in the arena, no, doing the stuff.
Yeah, great, and of course because they are great contacts after.
Yeah,
during and after.
Which goes back to what Vicente was mentioning before about the knowledge, experience, and the network. Which it's everything is kind of like a puzzle, but you need all of the pieces there, right?
True, and at the same time, your classmates also.
Yeah, exactly.
Because here we for example in our generation, let's see, we were a reduced group because we were, I think, Vicente, maybe around 20 people, and we have many international people, some from here, from Valencia, from other parts of Spain, and we are already connected. And for example, in my case, I had the opportunity to hire some people that were from my generation to be now in the club, so in the academy, for example. So it's like, okay, it's networking inside, networking outside. So it was nice, at least in my experience.
Good stuff. And Vicente, I mean, we were talking about the real world experiences, no, or the events that ESBS students go to. I mean, if you want to go into a little bit of detail on what they are, but more importantly, I want to understand, why are those events special?
Yeah, I think that you're special. I mean, the kind of events that we do. Let's say, for example, during the program, the opportunity of presenting projects to the teachers, to the lecturers. They are all professional, so the students receive feedback from them. So, this is a huge opportunity to get real feedback from sometimes business cases that they are happening in the moment, and the teacher is involved in those cases, or situations that already happened and the professor was involved, was actively part of that project. So um, so that's one thing about that. Also, integration days. We have 100 more than 100 students here for example, in our school in Valencia. They come from 37 different countries. So it's such a multicultural group. We have people from Europe, people from Africa, Asia, America. So it's a really good way to get this integration, to know each other, practicing sport with other students in the school, attending to sport events together, visiting sport facilities during the program. So they are also at the real world. They are not only in the classroom, but they also go outside. So I think that makes this event special, because we are a small business school, let's say, in comparison with another universities. So and here everyone's more like a family.
But that's important, no? Because at the end of the day, it's not about the amount of connections that you make. It's more about the quality, I would say, of the connections. And what I'm getting for you both actually is that it's a powerful network, meaning it's long life relationships and it's multicultural, right? So that's important piece. Borja, you were there. What advice would you have for any potential students who's considering, not only a career in sports management as a whole, but also an education at ESBS?
Yeah, well, for my experience, the ESBS is a great selection. So I can say the other thing, because in my point of view, in my lab, it was like that. So every single person that during this period has been asking me about, okay, I don't know if registered to the master or not, or maybe to do other master, I always say the same. I give them my experience, and my experience was great. I know other experience, and quite of them are so great in terms of not just about the master, not the next step, so they get jobs in the industry, they are involved. So that at the end is the goal, no, that we have once you make a master, is because you want to be specialized, and you want to be recognized in the market as someone that has the skills to develop a specific job. So I think this master gives you the opportunity to go inside the industry, and then of course the industry of sports is quite huge. So you can go in a technical part, you can go in administration part, you can go inside of the tech part, more in scouting, in data, in marketing, or in, there are many factors that you can then select after. So for me, this was my experience, and I will recommend people this master because of that. And of course, speaking about the attitude that a student has to have in this master, for me, the people needs to be very proactive, because of course you have good connections, you can and you will have good teachers, but you have to be proactive. You have to go, let's see, after there. You have to try to make contacts. You have to to be an sponge to get all this knowledge and all these contacts, and take advantage of them, because they're at the end is like in the market. After you go outside and not fight, but you are competing with other people that maybe want the same job, or they want all the same opportunities. So you have to make the difference. So for me, the attitude is a great difference, to be proactive, to be open mind, to don't have to try to give before to ask, because sometimes when you are a student, you need to show your value before to ask about people giving you some opportunities, etc. And of course, to in this industry, depending of the place you live, you need to be be sure that maybe you have to go abroad, you have to go to another big city, you have to move on another country. So you need to be open and be open internationally.
Definitely, that's a great advice actually, and it's not only applicable to those looking to enter the industries for life in general, no? So thank you for that. Vicente, other than Borja, can you share some, success stories, someone who has gone to have a significant career in the sports industry after being part of your programs?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Actually, we have more than 600 former students only in master's program here with us, but also in the whole network, more than 5,000. So yeah, I mean, for example, Luis Martinez, which is currently the head of academy, Valencia CF Academy, actually, he's Borja's colleague, and he was the person, Borja, if I'm not wrong, that trusted in you to be part of the club.
Yeah, yeah. He's currently is my head. So he was the guy that selected me to make the internships when I was in the master, still in the master. Then after my internships, they have the possibility to hire someone to help him. So they decide to 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 hire him. Then I've been with him in the club for 4 years in marketing. Then he moved here to the academy to be the head of the academy. And from the last year, he promoted me to join to him here to help him in the academy. So it's like we are very linked from the beginning. So yes, Luis Martinez definitely is a successful case. I will cut this for him.
Let's pretend no one is listening, and we can speak bad about him. I mean, someone's getting a raise soon, I think. Sorry, Vicente, you were saying it.
Yeah, no problem. And then other cases, for example, a classmate from my promotion, John Peral, he's currently working at FIFA. Another classmate, Juliette Catebou, she's from France and she's working at the Accor Arena. She's working in partnerships, head of partnerships at Accor Arena. And then most recent promotions, for example, 2018-19, we have students like Ivan Fernandez. He worked for La Liga and currently he's the team manager at Atlético de Madrid women's team. Or Santiago Alvide, he's the head of operations at Tenium. Tenium is a company specialized in organizing tennis events such as Davis Cup, Conde Godós, or the Hoffman Cup, among others. 2021 promotion, Fabio Ruaro, Marina Barenbach. She's working for team marketing. She's senior marketing partnership executive. Juliana Rodriguez, manager, content distribution, and business development manager at MES. Or 21-22, Fabio Ruaro, currently is the revenue manager at Real Sporting de Gijón. So these are some cases, but as I said, only in the master's program we have more than 500 former students. So there are a lot of success stories here.
What I take from that list is the breadth of roles and properties that your students work in. So I mean, this is not because this is not tied to a single club. It's not tied to a specific role. It's just you can have opportunities all across the ecosystem, which I think is very interesting.
That's it. We are not focused only in football. We are focusing in every sport and in every kind of company within the sports industry.
That's a good message because I always get a lot of questions on how can I go into the football industry and work at a club? And I said, but do you realize that actually the ecosystem is just so wide and you can work at many different type of organizations? So yeah, thank you for that. And Borja, let's take a step back. I mean, you have a career in the sports industry, and what do you find most rewarding about working in the industry?
Well, it's like a football lover working in his passion, working in the best company, football company or football company or sports company in the region. here in Valencia. So it's like, no, it's the typical phrase that working the thing that you live and you don't think that you are working, no? So something like that. So of course, for me, it's it's amazing to work in football, to work in right now. For example, I learned a lot in the marketing department to understand how it works, the internal part of the club, to have the possibility to connect with many departments, to have this revenue, this commercial perspective, to how to expand the brand. So for me was incredible. But right now, during the this my period now in the academy is like, okay, now it's not like business. Is we are speaking about football, about field. You are in the grass. You are speaking with players, with the agents, with you are in the core of football. So for me, it's like what more I can ask, you know? It's like I work in football. I've been coaching in football teams. I played football all my life. I watch football. So I can just wait that we can continue or we can improve.
Yeah, thank you, Borja. And okay, Vicente, let's say someone out there listening is interested, we've convinced them that, this is a very interesting option for them to consider. What kind of professionals do, typically enroll on the program, and how do they benefit?
Okay, well, they come from different places. So first of all, we have the students that they have recently finished their undergraduate program, and then they want to specialize or they want to be part of this possibility, so they come with us. And then since a few years ago, we also have more students that they have already studied sports management before, an undergraduate program sports management, and they want to have this international experience with the school. Uh, and on the professional side as well, we have both professionals that they are currently working or they worked for a long time in another industries and they are willing to change because they love the sports, they love the sports industry, and they want to be here because they want to change the industry. And professionals that they are currently working in the sports industry because maybe in the past they didn't study specific content about sports management and they want this knowledge to be in developing their professional careers.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so if you both agree, I want to ask you now a series of questions that I want to ask both of you, so we can make it very quick answers, just to get both of your opinions. But I think it's going to be relevant to really understand where the industry is going and how it's important to embrace education in order to face that future. No, so Borja, I'm going to start with you. You're working at a club, you've had a career in the industry, so what skills do you believe that any future sports industry leader needs to have to actually face, what's coming in the future?
Well, if you are working with teams, that at the end, I think that in this sector, you have to deal with teams. Of course, at least if you are a leader, you have people cooperating with you. I think this sense of creating in your people, in your departments, in the areas that you are coordinating, this autonomy to let the people feel important inside of their roles, but try to make it in a good way that they can cooperate as a teamwork and also creating a good atmosphere. Is I think this is the key to have this sense of belonging in the people, to say, okay, I don't want to move, I don't want to go to another place because here I'm happy, because here I feel responsible of my area, and then I work with colleagues that makes me feel good. So I think this trio of empathic situation is good.
Okay, thank you. Interesting. Vicente, anything to add there?
Yeah, well, I totally agree with what Borja said. And I would also highlight maybe the ability to work remotely. I think that nowadays is a must. Projects that must succeed in spite of not being in the same space, physical space. And I think that the leader needs to be always hungry to learn something new. The industry changes quickly. Innovation and digital transformation are really key. And so leaders also need to have this vision to understand where the industry is going, to adapt as well if needed, and use their leadership skills to, let's say, to make everyone within the organization understand this position as well.
I like that. And actually, in a way, I would say it's related what you both said, because at the end of the day, Borja was speaking about really creating a positive culture. And once you do that, or that implies adopting, being able to trust people when they're working in a hybrid model, and believing they're going to do the best of their abilities, and also that call it growth mindset, if you will, Vicente, right? That you need to be always striving for more. So yeah, interesting. And Vicente, I'm going to stay with you, um, because you're probably more aware than I am. But what emerging trends and challenges, are there out there that any sports industry leader has to prepare for?
I think that I will highlight sports tech, everything regarding AI, VR, and AR, virtual reality, augmented reality, because I think we're still not aware of the challenges and opportunities that these technologies are already bringing to the sports industry, at least the different possibilities that they will be bringing in the future for fan engagement, sponsors, activation. I think I think that's a huge strength, and something that we should be learning uh, today from that. And of course, another trends maybe the growth of women's sports as well, sustainability. Organizations, sports organizations are able to influence, uh, to promote environmental awareness and impact in the positive change of the people of the ecosystem as well. So I will highlight that.
Okay. And Borja, on your end, since you're inside a club, what do you think, what are trends and challenges that what do you have to add there?
Well, we have many. Speaking about, for example, our football club, I think that we need to be very open, and we need to be aware about the constant updates that the technology is making. Try to adapt to the new trends as the millennials, the needs that they have, that they are quite different than the needs that I have or you can have. So for us, it's like, okay, how we can catch their attention to have interest in this sport in the way that he is like that. So maybe we have to reformulate some parts of the sports, or maybe we just need to continue doing the same, but then the society is changing. So if we don't do something different, maybe we lost them. So it's like it's very difficult. For example, right now here, when we have players training, for example, the kids training here 3-4 days per week, and plus the match, they come here, they train, they do the football here, but you don't see them playing in the streets. So before, 20 years before, 10 years before, 15 years before, people train here 8 hours per week, but maybe they play in the streets 20 hours per week, you know? So it's like you have more hours of flight, when you are. So it's like, okay, we are losing this part of the football. And when you are playing the streets, you develop because you play against people that is older than you, younger than you, and you change, you grow. And now we are detecting that people is less skilled. Because at the end they are playing less in the streets. They are playing less. They are just playing here in the academy. So that's why, for example, we have to adapt the kind of work that we are doing here, trying to do things more like in the street. So we are adapting our way to train, because we know that they are not training playing in this way in the street, you know. So it's like it's difficult. It's difficult. So for me, the challenge is to adapt to the new generations because they have other interests and they have other ways to do the things that us in the past.
That's very interesting because, I've spoken with a lot of leaders in this podcast, and they always say, the fan is changing, and we need to adapt to how the fan is changing. But what you're saying is, but the kids are changing as well. So the way they're playing is totally different. So I really need to make myself able to adjust to those changes because that's going to shape the game in the future.
Yeah, for example, here before all was the methodology was more regulated. Let's see. So small spaces, 1-2 touches, just the ball. So very with rules.
Uh-huh.
Now we change. We do this, but we have other parts of the task where all is just play. Feel free. You are in the street.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Try to do as the best that you can do it, because we know that you are not doing it in the streets,
Yeah.
So we adapt the way of training to the actual situation of the society.
Nice. Interesting. And speaking about change, Vicente, I mean, how does your organization adapt to changes in the sports industry? Is very dynamic. At the end of the day, it's so different, and it's going to be very different. So how are you going to adapt to that?
Well, I keep an eye. I mean, we keep an eye on what's happening in the sports industry, on the trends. We attend to the summits. So we need to be up to date on that. Basically, that's what we do.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, makes sense, right? You have to be aware of what's happening, and that's really, there's nothing much to it, right?
Exactly.
But I don't know if you want to add anything other than the interesting case you said. I don't know if you have any other example.
Well, I think it's the same. I think that the most the sample that already made give you is the proof that we are adapting to the situations that we are facing. So of course we attend to many summits. We try to check for example, we have a network of international clubs where we cooperate to exchange this kind of how they do the things in their reality, how do the things here in our context. So we always try to learn about other clubs, other contexts, and of course is the key. And as a club in general, I think the sustainability, the female section, all these things are very important, and is the core of the club right now.
There's that key word again, network, that we were mentioning before. And this is a practical example of how it does, help to have a powerful network. And it starts with a good education, honestly. So I think it's nice to see it ties together and that the audience was able to see a practical example of that. So I want to ask you both one final question. As you know, at World Football Summit, we launched a rebrand. And one of the things around that rebrand is that we believe that the football industry needs to commit to excellence, to innovation, and to sustainability, which is something that, Vicente, you mentioned before. So I was wondering if you could define in 1-2 sentences, something very brief, the football industry that you want or the football industry that you need. Vicente, we can start with you and then we go with Borja.
Okay, so one side could be an industry that cares about social impact and what football can bring to society, and the industry that keeps working on its professionalization and offer opportunities to well-trained young students who are eager to pursue the passion.
Good. Borja, how about you?
Well, I think both claims are perfect, so it's difficult for me now. Okay, I think the industry of sports needs people in love of it. I think this is definitely the way. Here you face many challenges. Maybe it's depending on the role. It's not the industry that can you make you wealth. but this sports industry is something that you have to be passionate and you have to be in love. This is the unique way that you can be here happy and be rewarded with your effort.
I love that, and no pun intended. But I mean honestly, because at the end of the day, this is kind of like having a family, I guess, right? You love them, but at the end of the day, you have to push, you have to fight. There's better days, there's worse days, but at the end of the day, the mission of making it better and making it as best as possible is there, no? So thank you for both of your answers. I mean, and Vicente, I was really surprised because we didn't align on this answer, but it actually is very well aligned to what we believe in World Football Summit. So that was very interesting to see as well.
Yeah, actually, if I might, I would as well something that I say to the students, to our students, before, during, and after the program, is that at the end, these students that they are studying sports management, not only with us, but with every school here, uh, they are pushing a dream, and most of the times they only need one opportunity that one company trusts them once to show what they are able to, what they are capable to. So we work with them to make these, to generate these opportunities, and I think this is super important because now no one is going to knock your door when you are studying a sports management program and look for you if you don't have experience, if you don't show yourself. So this activity is training.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And if there are some students listening this, I can understand how frustrating could be when you try to apply in a LinkedIn form, and all the companies are asking us about 3, 4, 5, 7 years of experience, and you are a student that you already have a master, a career, and you don't have 1 year of experience. So it's frustrating, but you just need to continue to keep working and keep trying to have this opportunity, this guy, this that give you the opportunity to show and to prove your talent or to prove your formation. So I feel lucky because I had the opportunity. There are many people that has opportunity, but there are others that they don't have. So just try to fight to be the one of the ones that they have this opportunity. And once you have it, give your not 100%, 200%, and don't ask, give first. This is my advice.
Yeah. I want to thank you both for that, and that's very interesting. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I was speaking about this with Calpada from Post United, and we were mentioning is you have to work hard, very hard, to get that piece of luck that's going to open up the door. No, but the work has to come. If not, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Exactly. And resilience is key.
Yeah.
And at the same time that we can see, for example, in the football industry, we could watch some players playing that you could say, okay, maybe it's not the best or is not the most skillful player, but he's there playing in first division, playing in a national team. So that's the thing. I think that we could extrapolate that for every point of our lives as well. I mean, dealing with frustration, it's super important, and having that resilience, it's key to what's going next in your lives. Well,
yeah, I agree. Well, Vicente, Borja, I want to thank you very much because this has been fun. I think everybody listening is going to get tons of value, both from a theoretical perspective, but also from a practical point of view. So before we go, I don't know if you, Vicente, I don't know if you want to send anybody to a particular page so they can learn more about ESBS or where they can learn about, more about you.
Yeah, of course. ESBS website, ESBS_Spain.com, Instagram, ESBS_sport, and my LinkedIn, of course, Vicente Valero. If you want to connect with me, I'm really happy to do it and explore any also collaboration, any chat possible. Really appreciate.
Mm-hmm. Borja?
No, nothing special. Just try to go to the website and join to the program. If you join, we will have the opportunity to meet each other, because I used to be one of the teachers of the masters. So I will know you.
Well, thank you both very much.
You are not used to be.
And yeah,
See, you are
good point.
I am glad to be.
Well, guys, this was fun. Thank you so much. I really hope the audience gets to the final of the conversation, because they're going to get a lot of value. And I want to thank you for your time. And yeah, have a great day, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jaime.
And there you have them, Vicente from ESBS and Borja from Valencia. So many takeaways from this one. First, the value of having a powerful network is key. And this refers more about the quality of the network versus the quantity of it. Then, a sports industry leader needs to be a good leader, have a growth mindset, and most of all, be responsible for creating a strong culture. There was an interesting thought that Borja had, where they have to adjust to how kids play today. Turns out, it's not only the new generation of fans who is changing. And finally, the football they want is defined by having an industry committed to creating social impact, to being professional. And as Borja said, it needs people who are in love with it, willing to fight for making a better football. Did anything else stand out to you? Let us know on social media. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the podcast on your platform of choice and share it with your industry colleagues. Oh, and before we go, if you're ever in Madrid and are looking for a place to network effectively, share a traditional Spanish snack but with a modern touch, or simply enjoy a relaxing moment for yourself with a delicious sweet pastry to break your day, make sure to visit La Hermosita. You won't miss. I'm not kidding. I once bought my wife a small piece of pie for a special occasion, and she just loved it. So again, visit La Hermosita. And when you go there, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the World Football Summit podcast. You can find the link to their website on the notes of the episode. Remember, you can also subscribe to our newsletter, where you can find the link in the show notes and info about our events, trends, dynamics going on in the industry. And finally, you can also join us for World Football Summit Asia on December 12th and 13th in Jeddah. Tickets are available on our website. Nothing else from my side. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the World Football Summit podcast. Have a great rest of your day, and we hope to see you next time.